is required to submit a police report, to contact their insurance, and bring all of that supporting documentation before they can be reimbursed. That has gone on for years within the Village of University Park. This just happens to have happened to one of our trustees at this time. But there are several other individuals who have come in over the course of years that have had the same scenario occur. My recommendation is that this is something that the village does not want to do anymore, since that ordinance is so old. It should be revisited and changed, because with the village's fiscal situation, we shouldn't be doing that anyway.
Okay, thank you. And with that said, I'd like to see some of those 2-3-year-olds that has the same situation paid, because I get this phone call constantly, and they said it's only $275, Mayor, and I can't get it. No one answers my phone. I hear that every day. Nobody answers my phone. Nobody's responding to me, and they keep submitting it over and over and over. So I would like to see them treated as fairly.
And that's another reason the $1.7 million is involved, is to help us pay some of these debts until we get our tax allocation May the 28th, and then we can start not only paying that TIF loan back, but we can continue to pay our deficit that's been behind for 4 years.
Also, I see $10,000 is on here again for Anselin Glitz, the attorney. What's the balance on him now? Because I know it's $1 million, but are we close to that payoff? $10,000 on here again. That's cheap.
That's his fee, and the village has, over the, since Anselin Glink has left, it has been a start, stop, start, stop. He has finally sent a letter identifying exactly what is owed to him. We have it in writing that he is supposed to be paid. The $10,000 is any other contractual agreement. So any other attorney that leaves us, we will be contractually obligated to pay them as well.
I noticed some we have not at all. Okay, Trustee Wilson.
Since we're voting to combine, I have one more question. On item C2, authorizing the execution of equipment lease agreement. So as I look through these, some of the quotes were in January and they're only good through 30 days. Did we get updated quotes? Because the prices will change since it's over 30 days.
They were renewed.
I'm sorry?
They were renewed.
Do we have a copy of the renewed
verbal renewal.
No. Oh, I'm sorry. One more time.
It was a verbal renewal that they sent it in. Yeah.
Gary, would you obtain those as you've done before and send them out electronically tomorrow?
I can.
But you voted on tonight.
So, but how can we? This contract is for. So the price will change after we vote on it.
The price is not changing.
So how do we know that we don't have a quote? You got 3 quotes and all 3 are outdated.
All 3 were renewed by the company. They did not send a new paper in. They extended what their payment was. So, I do have the email right here in front of me. I can forward it to you right now.
If you will forward it to the board.
Please. Also, why are we, I'm sorry, you finished?
Yeah, no, I do have some more questions about that whole contract. So why have we looked at other avenues to get the roads paved? Have we looked for grants? Have we reached out to the government? Have we tried these things? Have we looked at how much it would cost for a company to come through and fix them all in 1 month? Because to me, wait a minute, I'm not finished, sir.
Go.
To spend $1,500 a month on the equipment for how many months? 48 months? And we only use the machine every once in a while doesn't make sense. Because we still have to buy asphalt. We're not using the piece of equipment maybe 8 months out of the year. So it's just sitting there, $1,500 a month. How much would it cost if we paid somebody to come out and fix the streets? Did we get a quote on that?
I have your quote that your engineers did, Robinson Engineers, with their 5-year plan, and I am looking at it right now. Mayor, I think you got it also. Drolley Road, Burnham, Thornwood, Burnham, Abbott, Amherst, Industrial, Loves, Blackhawk, Nackey, Abbott, Greenbrier, with a grand total of $2.8 million.
And that does not include the industrial park.
Oh, no, it doesn't.
Just to elaborate a little bit.
Wait, I have a question for you before you do that. Yeah, and I received a call again today about Bond Street and its terrible conditions, and they're saying we're paying head tax and we can't get our roads fixed. My question, to piggyback on Trustee Wilson's, that's all good and dandy. You did not address the fact that, have you looked for grants? I just came from Washington, D.C. There's infrastructure money with Department of Transportation. And that's why I know that there's money available with someone. We're not being aggressive as far as our grants, because there's a lot of money available right now for that particular thing of infrastructure. And I asked them the questions, was it just a grant? They said it's a grant they have to write. Well, no one's writing a grant. We keep bleeding the village. And we can be more aggressive in grant writing than we can for monies. And understandably so that these things need to be done, and I need these streets to be repaired. However, do we have, and I asked this before, and I was lied to, I asked this before, do we have competent people to operate the machinery? We should have, our public works should consist of people that engineer, electrician, and I've said many, many times, they can go to Prairie State and have apprenticeship programs that they will be qualified. Most villages do not outsource this much. Normally, they have the capable people and qualified, talented people with the experience to do any build out we need, anything we need to be done. We should have the staff to do that. We got people on poles on the telephone. OSHA came by here, reported to Trustee Wilson, and called and said, next time I see that, I'll take over your public works. We got people that running up and down on the grass that's cutting into concrete. We got people that can't push the snow blowers, the snow and removals. We need to have competent people to do that. Now, who all will be operating these machines? We have competent drivers to do the pavement. We have skilled workers to do that.
Mayor, first of all, let me just say one thing. The employees in your Public Works Department have been here for years.
Some of them, not all.
I did not hire them all, but I am training them all. The people out here on poles, that was ComEd, because the poles were falling down. We do not handle in Public Works water, electric. We do not handle that. Also, the village has an engineer, which is Robertson Engineers,
right,
which handles all of our major road repairs, which handles all of our grants, which handles all of our funding and paperwork from Will County
Excuse me,
government.
I have to correct you. No, they do not handle the grant. They're not grant writers. No, they do not. They help us. No, they assist us.
I'm sorry.
Excuse me. They give us grants. We should be initiating them. We should be seeking them out. I've talked to them on numerous occasions. There's certain things they can bring forth, but they can't completely write them. No, that's not true. They can bring grants, they can implement grants. Once we get the grants, they can implement them. But we do not have them as grant writers. We are going to do that. That's a part that we're going to partake in. But I'm talking about your workers. Do you have, we used to have mechanics, engineers, groundsmen, floor. We had some people that did this bathroom. We had some people that did the 90 Center, the Village Hall. They built that out. That's what I'm talking about. Skilled workers that can save us some money. Because 70 and 90 and 80 right now is a mess. I've gotten complaints about that. The guy's cutting corners, not doing right. His tile is totally messed up. The door was so small, so easy access, they could open it with a butter knife. And we're renting places out like this, and our equipment and our doors are that bad. So
I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to speak on behalf of each one of these topics. And I don't know what is going on tonight, but I know we have a motion, but the staff has an opportunity, needs to be protected, and I'm going to do that. First of all,
excuse me, we have a motion on the floor.
Well, I'm sorry. If I have to stand up,
we're going to vote. We're going to vote the motion.
We owe money.
This question is out.
No
motion on
money.
the floor. Excuse me. Again, the motion on the floor.
Mayor, the training, though, for this equipment, you raised that issue, is in the quote. That is part of what the...
No.
And we have no MFT funds.
No, I'm talking about for the equipment that is being leased to repair the roads in the quote, part of what is in there is training on use of the equipment. I can show it to you.
I understand that, and it's here. I'm saying we don't have it readily. We shouldn't. Never mind.
The reason we're doing this is because the village cannot get MFT funds anymore because we spent all the money.
Well, you know,
We
do.
have
That's
various
all.
roadway projects. Those roadway projects have been in place for years, over 10 years, and these roads have not been repaired. The reason that we're asking for this is because it hasn't been done in years. Every one of these residents in this room and outside of this room knows that we have roadway damage. And Robinson Engineering and the Baxter and Woodlands of the world that have been here before, we still have not had the roads done because we misappropriated the MFT funds. This is our last resort in trying to do some repairs within this village.
We're not trying to do that, Jonna. We are going to fix the roads. That's not an issue. I asked, excuse me,
I was
sir.
answering
I'm talking.
your
Excuse
questions
me.
that you proposed
No,
to
excuse
hear.
me. This, I'm done. Okay, that's it. That's all. We have a motion. Let's vote.
May I just remind the board that this is a motion and a second just for joint consideration of all three items. It is not a vote and approval. It's just for consideration of all three items
Items
together.
to be considered.
So
Roll call.
if-
Votes aye.
Votes no. Trustee Payne.
Votes aye.
Trustee Griffin.
Votes aye.
Trustee Grant.
Votes aye.
Mayor Hudson.
Votes no.
Motion passed.
Okay, a motion to pass all of three as he's joined them. Roll call. Is there, a motion for motion to consider all three now?
So moved. Second.
Moved by trustee Grudez, second by trustee Griffin. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
I just realized I had an updated bills payable amended. I still would like legal counsel to say, okay, IRH forensic audit approved, 40,000 out of TIF 3, 40,000 out of TIF 4, and 40,000 out of TIF 5. There's a total at the bottom that says 80,000.
This is listing of the obligations, trustee.
That was in the agreement that was approved that broke down all of those payments. And the TIF work that they do in each one of those TIFs comes out, if they do work in TIF 3, they get paid out of TIF 3. If they do work in TIF 4, they get paid out of TIF 4.
So my question is this a guesstimate of what they're
That's
gonna-
exactly what's on the
Is-
agreement that was passed. The date of that?
Yeah, it was passed before I got here. I apologize, I got late, and I don't have the paperwork.
Yeah, but that's in
And
the
it's not- it
previous
wasn't in
board
my
packet
mailbox.
from
And
May
it-
3rd.
Okay, and the third thing is 40 plus 40 plus 40 is 120,000 all day, not 80. So is this bottom line number correct? It says a total of 1.87, 1.
We can redo the math and write it on there right now if we
Oh,
need
that-
to.
Yeah.
It's yeah, let's do that.
So you're going to vote for something that wasn't correctly calculated?
We just have to simply correct it. Can someone make a motion to correct
Mayor,
it?
I'd like to make a motion to amend the bills payable total from 80,000 to 120,000.
The whole entire total. It was 1,700,000. It's now what? 1 million what?
I'm not having it either. I'm looking at it, it's not right. Somebody else can have it.
Oh, 40, 40, 40. 40,000.
It's 120,000.
It says here
It's
80,000.
different.
Yeah.
Well, above there for the general operations fund, the $1,356,364.49, and the payroll escrow of $340,635.51 is $1,700,000. Then we have the three tip payments,
A 40 apiece.
40 apiece, which should be 120,000.
Right. Thank you. Not 80,000, which is.
Add those two together and we get what?
You get 1,820,000.
More than a typo, sir.
Not 817,000, it's 1,820,000. So it's a $3,000 difference.
Thank you.
So my motion is to amend the grand total on the bills payable to $1,820,000.
Second.
Question? Roll call to amend it.
Trustee Mayor Graham.
Vote aye.
Trustee Wilson. Opposed, no, with no supporting documentation. Trustee Payton.
Votes aye.
Trustee Griffin.
Vote aye.
Trustee Gordon.
Aye.
I'll re-forward you
Absolutely.
their
not.
agreement that was in the last board
Okay.
agenda.
Now to motion to approve all three with amendments. Roll call. Roll call.
Trustee Mayor Graham.
Okay, what is it? 'Cause we got several conversations. What
Approval of all three.
Vote aye.
Trustee Wilson. Opposed, no. Trustee Payton.
Aye.
Trustee Griffin.
Vote aye.
Trustee Gordon.
Vote aye.
Mayor Carter.
No. Thank you. At this time, we have general public. Anyone for general public?
Yeah.
Okay.
Good evening.
Thank you.
I must say this has been an interesting meeting.
Very.
Going back to topics on the agenda. That's okay. I don't have the time for that. Let's move on. Going back to topics on the general agenda. C1, I guess here we were talking about the U.S. Fugitive Enforcement Bureau. My question is that how much money do they actually owe? And is that a write-off? Or what have we done in writing to seek those funds, seeing that we are financially strapped? Hopefully I can get my questions answered tonight, because I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of used to not getting them answered. C2, when you were talking about the repairs, those of us who live in Residents Townhomes Association are still trying to understand why we seem to have difficulty when it comes to getting our lane on the list for repairs. So maybe you can help me out with that. Maybe it's on there, maybe I didn't hear it, but yeah, we need to look at that because we pay taxes too. C3, and looking at the bills payable, I want to go back to a comment that was made that kind of made my ears perk up. Nothing personal, Trustee Griffin, it could be talking about anybody. But when you are telling me that we owe $2,000 to a trustee for a tree or something?
Fell on his car.
Oh, okay. All right.
Excuse me.
That's what I was trying
Could
to
I-
understand. But I need to finish what I was saying about that
I'll
first,
answer
Trustee
that.
Griffin. Thank you. So what I'm really asking here is that if we owe that, trying to find out if we have outstanding debts in other places. Do we have any other outstanding debts to any other outgoing trustees that we need to know about, so that they will not remain, or this will not be an issue from one month to the other, what we owe and they're still on our bills payable? Just asking. And the last thing, when it comes to the numbers, I don't know who was supposed to be checking those numbers when we were off like that, and Paula had to kind of like call everybody's attention to it, but maybe we need more fact checkers. Thank you.
And Mr. Taylor, I have something, I was in a webinar as well about public speaking. And to let you know, we will be implementing it with the new board, next agenda soon, that it is a House bill, and I'll give you the reference to it and a copy of it, that states and has been in place that the public has to be referred to, responded to, answered. You have 45 days to do it, and it's a fine up to $5,000 if we do not do that. So that ordinance that they were writing up as far as your privileges to speak or not to speak, I will be giving you a copy of that House bill, and we will be obedient to it.
Thanks, because I did ask at the previous meeting, what did you reference or what